accept that, like, I'm probably
I love this intro music.
and I'm probably gonna watch people that I care about die horribly, and that fucking sucks.
Oh,
Anyway.
yeah, already have, and yeah.
But
it
like,
sucks.
yeah, it's just, you know, like, what the fuck am I gonna do about it? Worry? No, it's like the good book says.
Cast your cares on me, something like that.
No, you silly boy. It says that you're not going to make yourself live any longer by worrying about stuff, and that's probably the only true thing Jesus ever said.
Guys, I've had 2 Black Russians now. And
What were their names?
And what's that? And what is that bullshit
And
again? A Kahlua?
the second one was supposed to make me through the show. These things are so easy to drink.
Is it just a White Russian with Kahlua?
It's a White Russian without the half and half or cream.
No milk, just Kahlua.
Kahlua and vodka.
I thought Kahlua was milky-ish kind of stuff. Is that not the case?
No, it's a coffee liqueur. I'm pretty sure it's just aged coffee in vodka.
It's got a creamy-ish consistency to it.
Here, I'll look it up. You can you can make Kahlua at home.
Oh, really? Is it opaque or is it like clear?
It is inky black.
You're gonna make it.
Really? I thought it was like a light tan creamy color.
Now you're thinking of Bailey's.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So let's see here real quick.
Are you gonna make bathtub Kahlua?
If you make Kahlua at home,
Prohibition era.
It is 4 cups water, a cup of instant coffee crystals, 2 cups light brown sugar, 2 cups lightly packed dark brown sugar, 1 bottle of grain alcohol like Everclear, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, and so there's no coffee in it at all. Oh, just the coffee crystals. Okay.
What if you have access to 100% undenatured alcohol? Can I use that?
What's the proof on that?
Yeah, I think so.
200, and wouldn't it be?
If this says 190 proof grain alcohol,
you can't distill it to 100%.
I don't know. I mean, I thought you could.
I don't know. I feel like if you could, they would sell it in a bottle called Everclear, and I think Everclear is only like 190 proof.
Well, I get 4-liter jugs of it's just ethanol. I'm pretty sure it's 100% ethanol because I dilute it down to 70%. That's what I clean
right out of the gas pump.
Yeah.
Did you guys know?
Anyway.
You guys know there is a caloric level to gasoline?
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Yeah. So someone asked online, like, what's the? I guess they were on hard times, and they were like, what can I get the most calories per dollar for at Costco? And someone said gasoline.
Gasoline.
I mean, they measure calories by burning the material. So I would imagine
it's an energy measurement.
It was like 2 million calories per ounce or something like that. It was just like.
So next time I'm bulking,
yes, yeah.
I'm going on G juice.
Yeah, G juice. New energy drink idea: G juice.
G juice is
ignore the gasoline smell.
G juice is what I just mailed off for testing.
Oh man.
Users, you missed a lengthy conversation about how to jizz inside of the shippable packaging.
About legal activities.
I still don't understand why the funnel is necessary at all. I would have just nutted right in the first bag. Unless it's like a half-inch opening, you know. That just
then it's like a game.
But like, why?
You can try more than once.
Why don't they just give you a fucking tube?
If it's that narrow, it would blow up like a party balloon when you hit it.
I'm checking our stream.
Oh my god!
I bet you are.
They're both good.
Oh wow, fabulous!
I bet you are.
With that said,
oh my goodness,
welcome
we back.
to
Hello,
Friends, the comedy book club.
We back.
Vodcast. Is vodcast a real thing, or do only dickheads say that?
It is. If you're drinking vodka, you can call it a vodcast.
I'm not.
I don't think you ever speak the name of the activity you do while streaming. You just drop hints that you are streaming by saying things like, "Hey, check me on that chat."
Check me on that. I'm pissing my
Hey,
pants.
chat.
Hey,
This is a
welcome to Shelf
streamcast.
Importance. Welcome to the stream. Viewers, make sure to smash that notification
Yeah.
follow button. Give us a follow right here on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok. Give us a follow. Thanks for that. I see you, chat. Thanks for that sub. I see you.
What's up? What's up,
Should we
Shimpies?
give people a rundown of what we do here. This is a show.
Well, we are.
call
We're
it a
going
comedy.
to. We have an agenda.
We do.
We do.
Oh, that's true. I should probably open that at some point.
Guess what?
I just wanted to lay out a schedule
It's pretty gay.
for our for our
Right
viewers.
away.
I just wanted to set the expectations that we've got about 30 minutes where we're gonna just bullshit and talk about nothing, and then
Yes.
we're gonna talk about a very slimy, slippery, bat-winged book. That is
Bat-winged.
it's so
It is so bat-winged.
confusingly sexy.
Back-winged or bat-winged?
I'm
It
very
has-
confused about
Yo,
the
well,
bat
I've
Because
wing.
they're
never
on
heard
his
this.
back.
What does this mean?
What?
Bat-winged bug. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Because Reese
It's got.
Oh, you're
Exactly.
talking about Resand having his big wings. But
Yeah.
it's not just
Yeah.
Reese, it's all of the
No, it's just
the
him.
ill
He's
tards
the
or
only
whatever.
one that we know of that has a wing. Oh, and his two henchmen.
Yeah, I was,
His two
I'm
little
I'm sorry.
goons.
What did you call them, Kenneth?
what do you say?
His Illyrians.
It's probably
I call
best
them-
that
I
we
call
leave
them-
it away.
Illyrians. I thought all the Illyrians could fly. That's what I thought.
Are we? We're talking about the two guys
Well,
that showed up at his house in that fancy city, right?
But is
Because
he
so does his mom. The
Illyrian?
reason he can fly is because he's half Illyrian.
Oh, well, I thought it was. Well, what's okay? Forget it. We're getting ahead.
We're
getting ahead.
getting into book
Yeah,
club.
let's do-
I'd like to be
let's
getting some
do-
head.
I'm going out of order here, but I feel like introductions and welcome should be number 1 and not number 4. We've hit the record button.
This is outrageous.
Yeah.
I think we should do welcome.
Yeah, we get. That's right. We
first.
got to remind Kenneth to hit the record button.
He did.
Oh, you don't have to do that anymore. It's part of going live.
Oh, okay.
Well, who are we?
Ooh.
You guys know what order we do it in. Go.
Hey guys, I'm Akin. I'm off.
Oh man, really start
just
off
a-
with a bang.
That's just a kin. That's
Fellas.
just a kin of mist and fury. Akin. I'm off.
Kid of Mist and Fury is pretty good.
That is
Yeah.
Fellas.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
I'm Bill. I'm Bill literate. Because
Now-
the characters, but the reach for
That's
some
a
fucking
nice
reason.
deep cut to this book.
Yeah, I have got
Yeah.
something for you to try to read out loud here, Bill Literate. Okay. Um,
I'll do my best.
Pronounce this.
can you?
Resand
Read
is
this.
the most
Can,
handsome.
can you read this?
Uh,
Kid,
oh.
kid.
And what?
I nailed it
Why-
almost word for word before you even typed it out.
And what,
Kid
who's
is the most-
next? There's one other person that's next.
I don't
'Cause
know.
I'm
Our,
last.
our names went away. Oh,
Oh, that's me. I'm your other co-host, Dingle Fairy Bob.
Nice. And I am Yukon, she, her. Okay, so this is like a deep cut current events joke right now, and I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove it,
Yeah.
but I'm going to explain why. Apparently, we are all female from here
all right,
on.
audience, buckle up for an explanation of
This
this
is
really
science.
clean joke that we've just
Yeah.
pulled off.
This is science time with Yukon.
Mhm.
And
And what makes you a she/her, Yukon?
what makes me she, her? Well, at conception's when my gender is determined.
Science.
Legally speaking. from what I
Legally,
understand.
I mean,
Science.
by one self-spray tanned son of a bitch decree and his scientifically illiterate Illuminati, our gender is defined at conception. And guess what? At conception, we're all women. So
No,
we're
I don't
all
wanna-
she, her.
Girls' night.
Yeah, that
far
makes
be it-
things a lot easier.
Far be it from me to defend the actions or words of the right at this time, but is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is we were saying gender. Doesn't it say sex? Just to clear the air there. In that law, am I missing something? Or in that executive order?
Well, no, it says that there
legally
are only two
speaking,
genders.
they're the same thing. So
it says there's only two genders, that it's male and female, or man and woman, whatever. But then it also says that your sex is determined at conception. And at conception, every gender is female. It's not until 6 weeks or about later, #heartbeat, that someone becomes a male. So if it's at conception, we're all female. So, you know what? Fuck you, Nazis. We're all women.
It says male means a person belonging at conception to the sex that produces the small reproductive cell.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, they're fucking idiots, man.
Also,
and I hope, you know what? While we're on record, I hope they all go to hell. And I hope they all eat a bag of
wish there was one.
Well, I was gonna say that's the only thing about about that I wish was true.
This fucking executive order. Do you want me to read the fucking title of this fucking piece of shit?
No, let's move on. I've given them enough time.
I got it though. It's called Defending Women from Gender Ideology, Extremism, and Restoring Biological Truth to the Federal Government.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Amazing. Now I couldn't put it together that quickly. Tell me that's like an acronym or something.
FGIEARB.
They should have worked really hard to make it something.
Yeah.
That would require them to work hard, which is not something.
When you take the first letter of each word, it just says answers in Genesis. That's what they should.
You said the first two letters are FG.
Yes.
TV.
That's
no. I'm sorry. Actually, it's DW.
Damn it.
Is it Dwight?
Do I get
DWFGI.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, when I worked for the Air Force, there was fucking tons of everything had an acronym, and it was fucking annoying.
Mm-hmm. FA. I hear you, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I hear you, bro.
Like all of our individual projects had to have an acronym. And like, really, we can't just say, "Oh, I'm studying anthrax toxin" or whatever.
Right.
Fuck's sake.
Project
yummy.
Boneyard.
So there's this agenda.
Wait, how do you know about that
This
one?
agenda was very old. I deleted. We used to do something called Ken's shirt.
Oh yeah, you're not wearing one tonight. That's why we're skipping that.
I am wearing a shirt. It's just got horizontal stripes on it.
Hey, it's a Charlie Brown shirt. Almost. He has a squiggly line. I don't know. I didn't know what you were gonna wear. I wasn't gonna presume. If you wanted that stage, I was gonna give it to you.
Right. I like to show them off when I wear them.
Guys, what you drinking tonight?
Well, I was drinking some tea and now it's gone.
What kind of tea, Ken?
Bengal spice, the only kind.
Bengal spice. I've never had that. Is that got caffeine in it? Is that good to drink late at night?
God, Bengal spice is so fucking good.
Yeah, I gotta.
Has it got Bengal tigers in it?
Cinnamon in a tea bag.
Yeah, dude, it's made out of bits of real Bengals.
Well, I'm gonna add that to my I need to drink this list.
Oh yeah, it's very good.
You should go ahead. Assuming that you like spicy drinks. If you don't like spicy drinks, then you're probably not gonna like this because it's that.
Dude, I love spice. Dude, the spice must flow.
The spice must flow.
If you are wanting the spice to flow, the best way to get it is just to get on Amazon, and they've got, I think it's like $15, and it's 6 boxes.
Woo!
And I just have it on a subscription because I just am like, this is my basically free drink that I can just drink all the time and feel like a king.
So it's called what? Bengal spice.
Bengal spice. I think it's got a Bengal tiger on it.
Okay.
I'm not trolling, but I think I've seen it at Ken's house.
Dingle, what are you guys else drinking?
Well, I would just kind of ending up dinner drinks. I just had some ice with some Coke Zero in it for the night. I may, when we have a potty break, if we do, I may grab myself a flat tar.
Nice.
I still have some of those from New Year's.
When we take our refill break, I'm gonna get some oatmeal.
Some oatmeal. Okay.
Yeah.
To drink.
In
That's cool.
In a Yeah, because that's the thing. You're probably
Chunky.
on like an overnight oats sort of thing where it's like in a shaker bottle and it's like.
No, just whip it up real quick.
I couldn't do that.
3 minutes. You know,
you could put it in a Zoji Rushi. If you don't have a Zoji Rushi, I hear they're really good for making.
I've never heard
oatmeal.
With that.
It's like Instant Pop, but for oatmeal, I guess. I don't know. My brother has one. He loves it.
Billiterate. What are you having?
I'm drinking a little something that my brothers across the border like to call agua, and I'm also imbibing.
You have some brothers in Kentucky?
Legally purchased cannabinoids. No, I'm talking about the 52nd state. Mexico.
Oh, okay.
What Remember the fuck did you say this is called? I can't even type this. Soshi Moshi?
Zoji Rushi, I think is what it's called.
What's Zoji Rushi?
Sounds like a Pokemon character.
What is Zoji Rushi?
Let me figure out. It's
Is it okay?
It's
ZOJIRUSHI. Okay, Dick Water.
Dick Water. Oh my god! Sponsor of the show, Zoji Rushi. Get your oatmeal cooked.
Yeah, Bengal spice tea. Okay.
Yeah, it is S tier. Highly recommend.
So the image that comes up from Celestial Tea has a Bengal tiger on it. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I've had, like I said, a couple Black Russians. Very nice. They were supposed to last me much longer, but they both went down very fast. So I'm going to brag about the other drinks I had today. I had a nice, I think it's called a cafe mocha. It was a espresso drink using, it's basically a Starbucks hot chocolate with a shot of espresso in it, or for me, a double shot of espresso. And then another one of my favorite drinks I've been having a lot lately is a strawberry matcha latte. That's really good. It's some strawberry puree with oat milk and matcha tea.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot going on. I was thinking there was also chocolate.
Sounds good. So good.
I like some matcha, man.
Dude.
I mean,
and this is what you're making with your fancy, like what you were talking about earlier with your coffee making stuff.
But my other drink. Yeah, I got my nice little Breville machine. I got a nice grinder. I'm making some good espresso drinks. Real excited to have my espresso every day.
I think that's the one I had when I was doing when I was doing that.
But, all right, yeah. Cool.
Cool.
Anybody want to talk about? So before we talk about what's on our collective shelf that is important to us, which is A Court of Mist and Fury.
Yeah.
Anything on your personal shelf that you are excited about?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, can I get up and grab it?
Do it. Blake, talk about yours.
You know, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but I'm still proud of it. This right here is, well, it's not on a shelf, it's just hung on the wall. This right here is a real deer skull that I found on the ground and then did all the gross shit that you got to do to clean it off.
It's real?
It's a real deer skull.
So, wait, you don't just like put it in bleach? You have to do other things to it?
Yeah, bleach makes the bones all brittle, so you got to like clean all the fleshy bits off. And then in my case, what a lot of people do is they'll get like a fucking 5 gallons of peroxide somehow and boil it, and they'll boil bones like.
I feel like that would put you on a list.
That cleans them like real good. But I was doing like alternating soaks of OxyClean and peroxide. I don't think the OxyClean did a whole lot, but it was this like gross rotting pile of mushy deer bits in my garage for like a month. But anyway, it turned out really pretty nice, and as far as I can tell, it hasn't infested my house with decomposers or whatever.
I bet that stuff in your garage would make a nice broth. You know,
the leftovers. Yeah. When I found the skull, it was mostly skull, but the thing that was still attached was like the skin and the hard palate of its mouth. And let me tell you, that shit was real attached.
Yeah.
It does not come off.
I wouldn't think about your own mouth. You know, it's got like digestive juices
think
on
about
it
your own
all
mouth
the time.
and think about how
And
that
it-
would feel to
It
have
persists.
peeled off from your bones.
Yeah. And not just how it would feel, but how hard it would be to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not like a lot to grab onto there either, so it was like real slippery and it was gross.
I mean, Ken, you've smoked meat before. Have you smoked a pork butt?
Smoking meats.
You smoked a pork butt. You know how hard it is to get before, like when you're prepping it, if you've ever deboned it, to get the meat off of the bone, there's some places that it's really, really tough to do that.
That's true. Yeah. The most difficult thing I've deboned though is a turkey.
Yeah. You deboned it before you cooked it?
Yeah. I rolled it around some stuff.
All right. But it's not a deer you killed though, Blake, right? You just found that skull somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't really fuck with the killing stuff.
The killing of it. Ken, what did you run off to grab?
All right. Here, I have a shelf and tell.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Tell us about
Mine
it.
arrived today too.
Did it? Nice. So this is the game Perch from Inside Up Games. I am the art director and graphic designer for this game.
Wow.
You've been doxxed.
Oh, I don't mind. I want the work. Kenneth Spond.
.com.
Yeah, there we go.
What kind of game is it? Is it area control?
It is
Take That?
Yeah, big time. Take That. It's
really?
It's area. It's area control. Take That, like bag building. So you're taking your birds. The unique mechanism, if I see if I remember correctly, is that you get other people's birds in your, like you put your birds in other people's bags as well. So when they draw, they can place your birds somewhere. So it's kind of like, so it's kind of interesting how that works.
Okay.
But happy with the rule book here.
It looks nice as fuck, dude. I was watching the some dudes did like a how to play video, and I was watching that without, because I haven't even opened the game. I just have the boxes still in the shrink wrap. But I was just like, man, all of that stuff looks so great. And I was like, I couldn't exactly remember how deeply you were involved in it. And I was like, no way Kenneth actually did all this, but because he like fucking sucks. But just because this looks really nice.
Dude, I know it's early, but it is got a 7.9 on BGG right now.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And I don't know how many board games are on BGG. I'm sure it's ballooned in the last few years. It's 12,000.
Nice. And we've got a really cute art, The artist is great. Nice. Ari Oliver. Let me see if I can find that.
And it has 0 1 stars. That's also awesome.
Okay. Yeah. So all this super cute artwork.
It's neat.
Look at the dog.
Oh, I like it.
And I took that artwork and they give me a lot of room to do a lot of nice little special touch stuff on here. So like, okay, all those cards actually form this panoramic. So you could lay all the cards out.
Oh, that's cool. That's really neat. Dope.
Yeah.
So have you played the final version yet?
Like this printed version?
Well, I mean, I maybe you had an advanced copy of a prototype that was the final, that wound up being the final version.
Oh, I see. Nobody does that anymore. It's all through Tabletop Simulator.
Okay. Have you played with the final rule set or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got to know how to play it before I can.
So we know you
design on it.
We know you love how it looks. Do you love how it plays?
I do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. I mean, if you play with somebody who's going to get really upset by some Take That, I mean,
yeah,
just avoid it.
Okay.
Oh, you mean like my wife?
It's aggressive, man. It's like really, really cute and aggressive. So, I mean, let that be known from the start. There's no way to just calmly play on your own and avoid it.
Okay. It's not a solitaire group game.
No, it's a real son of a bitch. Fuck you game. And you would
at least
never
they
know
made
by
it
looking at
cute
it.
then. Like,
Yeah,
and those people that don't like that can just be like, oh, it's so
Yeah,
cute.
but you mentioned that there are no 1-star reviews, and that's like Connor at so Inside Up Games.
Mm-hmm.
They're a Canadian company. They're all just like super nice. They're so like stereotypical Canadian. They're just the best people on earth, and everybody loves Connor. No one has any reason to like go review bomb him. No one would ever say anything bad about him. Nothing he does is like divisive. He just like puts out good games and is happy to be doing it.
How did you find him?
How did I find? He found me, I think, through Stegmeyer's site.
Okay.
Back on because I worked on Earth.
Right. Which is like
that's a big
all
one.
the rage. Like that's a huge game right now.
Yep. So I worked on Earth and Terminus and another one of his. I forget which one. But then Perch was all mine.
So like, is God selfless enough to like give you co-credits on making Earth? Or is he just a real big dick about like
God?
Like I made because he made Earth. Like, does he credit any of his co-creators?
I see. No, I don't get it. I didn't get any credit in the good book.
It really sucks. So you got to do a lot of self-simping.
God doesn't get credit, but Connor does.
All right.
Well, Connor's better than God, is what I'm saying.
Praise Connor.
Yeah, praise Connor.
This is where it starts.
Con men.
All right, Dingle, you got anything on your shelf you're loving right now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My thing is not doing the green. Not really. I got my gardening books out.
Ooh. Yeah, you said you got to start your celery soon if you're going to be starting celery, right?
So I've got my gardening Bible, which is, I love DK Books, sponsor of the show today. I don't know if you know that brand, but they've got the best books.
Dick books.
And they've got, all kinds of pictures and all kinds of information about all kinds of shit. I've got 2 of those.
It's DK water.
I've got illustrated guide to gardening, and
nice.
So I mean I've had those for a while, but I've just resurrected them, and yeah. So I'm gonna try to get the garden up and going again this year.
All right. Any plant specific you're excited to put on the table one day, or is everything supposed to go on the table, or some of it just going to be for the eyes only?
Yeah, I want to have a run of wildflowers for my spouse unit, and okay. I always like planting the biggest ass fucking sunflowers that I can get, like Russian mammoth, like that are like 40 feet tall. I mean, they're not 40, but they're like 12 or 15 feet tall. I always like doing that, and I try to keep, just for fun, just because, I mean, who the fuck grows a 12 goddamn foot tall? You
gotta get little American flags and just like tack them to the like top near the flower as it's growing, and then it just like slowly and then at the end it'll invert to show how the whole country's in distress.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always like doing that. Those are always fun to grow.
Nice.
I feel like the move on gardening is you get a couple of buddies, right? And you're like, all right, you grow the peppers, you grow the tomatoes, you grow the beans or whatever. I don't know what people grow other than peppers.
As a collective.
So collectively, because the thing is like, I have this problem where I'm like, I don't want to put out 10 rows of corn. It's too much corn. But I would like to have one plant of corn. But you can't because they have to pollinate and do all the shit, right? And so it's like you have a really hard limit on like the minimum amount that you can grow. But it's pretty easy once you're like, yeah, man, it's peppers. I got them all on a tray. I'm going to put 100 of them in the seed tray, and probably like 30 of them are going to make it into the ground. And then we'll have way too goddamn many peppers.
Well, I would like, if if it's successful, even if it's moderately successful, I would like to can some stuff and, do some of the preserving stuff and that sort of thing. I think that would be fun.
Pickle some stuff?
Yeah. Pickle some pickles. That sort of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you get canning supplies,
Definitely.
you can also get really into mushroom growing.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of that stuff you need, like pressure cookers. Well, you probably would just autoclave the stuff you need pressure cooked. Actually.
Well, I'm
If
gonna
you got access, I can smoke it if you got it. You know what I mean?
Since it looks like we're being talked off stage right now, I'm gonna real quick say what's important on my shelf.
Oh, I love it. It's
my Kindle.
Narrow Dark.
Into the Narrow Dark by Tad Williams.
Nice.
Okay.
So look at that creepy mask.
It's all mirrored for us, but it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's also doing a creepy thing because of the video artifact.
3D,
where it's like,
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It looks like it's like Cat Williams too.
I've talked about it. I don't know if anybody's watching our Twitch stream. Tad Williams, get out there, look at his stuff. He's got some great series out there.
If you meet him in person, offer him sexual favors, but do respect it if he says no.
Yes, obviously. But he's a
it's
fantastic
his choice.
writer. He's written some epic stories. Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. This is the sequel to Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy. This is called The Last King of Austenard. I've also read Otherland. Otherland is like a very timely book today because it's about AI and dystopian futures and pretty cool. He wrote that though, I think like in the mid to late 90s. So that he was able to see 20, 25 years ahead of where he was pretty cool because it all holds pretty good. But this series is dope. It's got some like cosmic horror in it, which is like a little surprising. So pretty dope. I love the mythology that he builds in this book. Did
we talk about H.P. Lovecraft being like a huge racist?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
That's a damn shame, man. Because
it really is. It really is because I think about, I like Cthulhu stuff. I like some of his stories, and I think like when I get a wild hair and I'm like, do I ever want to get a tattoo? Like, what would I get a tattoo of? That kind of stuff. And I'm like,
Cthulhu tentacles coming right out your butthole.
Cthulhu stuff or like an elder sign. But then I'm like, is an elder sign like kind of a symbol of racism?
It's
some secret, because you like some Norse.
That's the new Proud Boys symbol.
It's gonna get co-opted by Nazis. Yeah,
right. I don't know. I don't know that they're literate enough to like get to H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah,
like they're like, I like Thor and Marvel.
Yeah,
they
didn't bother to read anything outside of Mein Kampf.
Yeah, my camp ground.
You can have a so you can just a question about your impression just now. I've got a Thor tattoo. What are you saying?
No, I'm not.
It's pretty racist.
I like Thor and Marvel. Are you saying I'm the Proud Boys?
No. Do you have any Nordic runes that are associated with white supremacy tattooed on your body?
Won't now.
Guys, it's just 2 lightning bolts. You liberals read into everything.
I just watched an episode of Mythic Quest that was about how they took all the Nazis and put them on one server and filed them away so they could just be racist against each other. And, like, what was it? If a Nazi falls in a forest, does anybody hear it scream? And I was like, I don't know how I felt about the message of the episode.
That's a pretty good idea, I think.
Yeah. So they're like, we can't just kick them off. And I'm like, why? Why not? I don't know.
We're all very pro national divorce here. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Going back, I'll just divert one more thing. Going back and watching The Office, I do from time to time. Dude, there's a lot of Nazi jokes in The Office.
Maybe that's how it got so popular.
There are so many. I didn't realize, way back when, just how many jokes there are about Nazis. And how heavily implied it is that Dwight is a white supremacist.
Oh,
makes sense.
It does.
He looks like a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
But, and I'm sorry,
Dwight-
Rainn Wilson. I know
Dwight
you're a really
supremacist?
nice guy.
Dwight's.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Open gamer text right now. It's the best one we've ever got.
It probably is. It probably is. Yeah. All right. Well, talk us off, Ken.
All right. Hey, we got a book, believe it or not, that we are reading. Finally, back to fairies. Finally, getting some action. Actually, I'm happy about that. It's A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas.
Of course, just as we initially, universally, the literature community has decided that A Court of Thorns and Roses is abbreviated to Agatar. This is, of course, Achamoff. So let's whack him off to Achamoff. It's time to jack it off?
Yeah, it's time to jack it off with Achamoff.
Yeah.
Wait, we don't have a jacket off, do we?
We do have.
And we
Who's got
for
the
some
We do have a
fucking
jacket off.
reason,
I have Ken.
we still don't have a jacket off theme song, which is a big problem.
I think this beat's pretty dope to jack it off to.
I want a R&B cut of jacking it off.
Hey, hang tight. I got AI for that. R&B, you say?
Yes.
Incoming.
Can you make it sing the? Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man. It's the romance hour here on Shelf Importance.
Midnight
Jack it
love.
off. Midnight love. Jack it off. It's time to jack it off. And of course, listeners, Jack It Off is a section of our show where we take the book jacket off so that we can read a summary. So we can read a summary of the book. And there are no other meanings to the phrase jack it off. It's just strictly talking about taking the book jacket off once again. So how are we doing it with this new format? Are we actually jacketing off the real book? Because I don't have that. I do.
You know
too
what you
lazy
do?
to go get it.
We should ask ChatGPT.
We should. Let's do that.
To summarize
New segment.
Summarize chapters 1 through 6.
Hey, whoa! Don't take my job away.
No, that's not what jack it off is.
No, jack it off is just to introduce us to the book. Just basically open your book up or turn it around and read the back of it. That's all this is.
Just turn
it's already done for us. We don't have
turn
to
that
ask
book
it.
around and go in the back side.
Here, I'll
You
do
know what
it.
I'm saying, folks.
No, here. I got it. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas is the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. It follows Farah Arsharon.
We
She's
know
the
her
last
last
name?
name?
I don't know. Farah Arsharon.
Spoilers.
As she
Hashtag.
navigates the consequences of the traumatic events from the first book. Now living in the Spring Court with Tamlin, Farah struggles with her new role as a High Fae and the suffocating constraints of her relationship. When Rhysand, the enigmatic High Lord of the Night Court, calls in his bargain with her, Farah begins to discover a world beyond the Spring Court. As she spends time in the Night Court, Farah grows into her own power, learns about the looming threat of the King of Hybern, and uncovers the strength of her own will. Along the way, her relationship with Rhysand deepens into a
penetrating.
Farah has to make difficult choices. The story explores themes of healing, empowerment.
Oh my God, you're
self-discovery,
reading AI.
setting the stage for an epic battle against dark forces threatening their world.
Okay. Like I said, you could just turn your book over and read the back of it.
I can't. It's on a
You're
nook.
on a nook. Okay,
Did
well,
the
turn
AI
your nook
give
over.
you a hard spoilie that you just wanted to skip over? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, a little background for the viewer. We finished A Court of Thorn and Roses in July of 2023. So we are now revisiting a series that we started.
There is a
and
comma
I think-
in that sentence. It's we finished, comma,
Yes.
A Court of Thorn and Roses.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think our intention now is to read the rest of the books. Is that what we're dedicating this year to?
Well, this depends on where this one goes.
I mean, I heard in book 3 they finally hit their stride.
Yeah, but you know what? This is what I'm saying. We heard that about book 2 going into book 1. We're like, oh, well, we're in book 1, but we really hear that like book 2 is where it really starts to pop off. Now in book 2, it's like, but 3 is where she really learns how to write.
Yeah, and then I think is it
book 4 is not even about Feyre.
Isn't there
Kate's
one
book 4
where
right
it's just like full throttle on the smut part? I think there's one
might be
like just a whole book of raw.
And maybe that's why she hits her stride there.
She's really. That's what I thought this one was supposed to be.
You know what? If it is, I'm disappointed because we're
like negatively about that.
We are a quarter of the way done with the book right now, and there's been no smut.
There was a
little bit, like,
very beginning,
but it was a
description of some fingers slipping some places,
and mouths hovering over other places,
just devouring,
shredding
in our bodies,
shredding.
That means eating ass. By the way, for those.
Oh, you think Tamlin eats ass?
Yeah.
I mean, he was down.
He gets his wolf tongue on.
Oh boy.
And he just slops at it.
I mean, if his claws can like poke out, I'm sure his wolf tongue can too.
Oh yeah. So, yeah. He's got a red rocket.
This is the podcast that blends sensibility with vulgarity, just to remind you.
Waiting on that sensibility to come around.
I just got this image of like
so
him doing the classic dog thing of like just going in for a sniff. Did you guys watch Bridgerton?
No.
You guys watch Bridgerton?
No. I caught parts of it.
Bridgerton, it's great. It's a really fun show. Honestly, like, watch it. It's like dumb and goofy, and like we're really not the target market, but it's your wife will love it. She'll be really horny, and you'll get a good laugh out of it. I promise. So would recommend Bridgerton. There's a season of Bridgerton where there's one character that just like he like walks up to this woman that he's got this like enemies to lovers thing going with, and he literally, like, the first time he gets close enough to her, he goes it's like the fucking weirdest shit that's like supposed to come off sexy, that I've ever seen in my life. And that's what I'm imagining Tamlin is doing all up in that ass, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is book 2. We've read book 1. We're now a quarter of the way through. Spoilers will ensue. So if you want to read along, stop. Collaborate with
and
us
listen.
by reading, and then come back and listen.
My name was already Billiterate whenever I logged into the studio, which tells me that at least for a while, we probably warned our viewers that this was going to be the next book, Yeah,
we did.
So I fucking get up in here and get them spoilies. Obviously, anybody that I know that watches this show is definitely not going to read this book. I do want to say,
and then anyone who's going to read this book is not watching the show, so we have like no crossover.
Correct.
Yeah. You know what?
Maybe we'll get some.
Maybe somebody will find.
Maybe we'll get it when we switch to TikTok.
I do need to state for the record,
TikTok's gone.
No, it's not. It's back.
It's back.
They're not relisting it in the App Store. You guys are getting no updates.
Yeah, whatever.
What?
Yeah, it's against the fucking law. What company's gonna break the law? They're not posting it in the App Store. Even it may work right now because
even the ones that are catching stray, even the apps that are catching strays like Snap haven't been able to come back.
I know they have, but they're not listed. Like I just saw before this, Apple is not going to relist the app in the App Store. It is a law on the books. They cannot give it to people. Someone may have gotten paid off, and it may work right now and make the people who have it happy. But
I don't know. We're getting over-the-air updates, so I don't know.
I mean, you can't go to the App Store and update it because it's not on the App Store. I don't know.
No, interested to see where it goes.
Yeah,
I'm just amazed at how many people forgot that he's the one that started taking it away and has wanted to ban it forever. And
back
then
they're like,
then Trump Jesus give us TikTok back.
Yeah.
Like, well, you guys are fucking pathetic.
Well,
okay, back to the book.
All right, we want to go into chapter summaries. I wrote them down for all.
I need to state for the record that I'm under strict orders.
We have to love this book.
But like to not be too much of a dickhead about this book. Okay, so like,
people love this book, man.
You'll be getting the muted version of me, is what I'm saying,
dude.
Wait, is your wife next to you?
She could probably hear me. She's not next to me right now,
dude.
So your First Amendment rights are being taken away within your own home?
No, I think she just doesn't want me to be like, because I was pretty harsh on Resand, and I think she was doing a thing from the perspective of the person who's on the other side of Resand's
from the villain's perspective.
From the villain's perspective. From the other side of Resand's redemption arc. She was like, "Hey man, like you got Resand wrong." And I'm like, "Well, I mean, it seems like he really takes a lot of glee in being a psychological abuser, so I don't really care for that." But apparently
because grown-ups
give him a fair shake.
Clearly and directly state their intentions and don't for months drag something out because it gives them pleasure on misleading someone.
One would think, but I think we will see a little bit more of Resand's motivations as the book develops. So I guess there's more interpretation to be had. So just hold him, just cup him with an open hand. Is all. Yeah,
I am going to judge this book by its cover.
Mm-hmm.
And this book is
it's got a pretty kick-ass cover.
It's all right.
Do you guys both have your cameras flipped horizontally from what you used to do?
Yeah, Blake does.
I think you do as well.
Me?
No, I always leave mine in mirror mode because fuck you guys.
I distinctly remember all that shit being the other direction.
Yeah, the bed used to be on the left side.
Yeah, for both of you.
Mirror. So
that's the way you usually look.
I think we had some softwares that were just flipping.
There you go.
This is how Blake usually looks.
Yeah,
that's insane.
So this is how Blake usually looks. See, the thing is,
I like this side of you better.
There was a difference where like I could see it one way and show it to you another way, but now I see it the way you see it. Does that make sense?
No,
I didn't change it.
I don't really.
Someone else just changed it.
How weird is this?
I don't know if that's how I usually see it or not.
Oh, I think it's auto flipping everybody to this view. Okay, whatever.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway,
so it was all a dream. We used to read Word Up magazine.
Yeah. So starting the book, all of the first book was a dream. She wakes up. She's still like poor and with her old family. And she goes to work the corner with her sisters. Wait, did we get the same book? We all on the same copy?
I don't recall that being the case.
You don't recall that? Oh,
maybe you got the third book.
Damn, I got the third book. No, okay. Are we ready we're good to go?
Yes.
Just stop me whenever. Chapter 1.
Stop. I'm kidding. Just go.
Actually, my first sentence, this is funny. My first sentence was, "It was just a dream."
Yeah, that's why I read that, and then I said, I used to read Word Up magazine.
It's been 3 months since the end of the last book. Feyre is having nightmares every night.
Yep.
Throwing up, barfing,
like she's pregnant.
Feeling gross every night, and she's clumsy adjusting to her new Fey body.
And her nightmares are basically okay. God damn it! I mean, like, you just right from the get-go. This book is just like, let me just tell you again everything that happened in the last book, right? Because it
didn't do that good of a job because I don't remember anything.
Yeah, no, I don't either. It's like all the shit I didn't care about. It's all the bloody shit. So there's a big thing where she's like, she was like kept a prisoner and she has like PTSD or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a hard time having any sympathy for Feyre because she's an extremely bland character. I don't really know what her deal is. Other than just being sad about random things.
Is Sarah Maas, is she let me know if you guys remember any differently, but she retroactively making the events of the last book a lot more gruesome than they actually were.
I think so because I don't remember it being so traumatic.
God, the blood, and I'm like,
yeah,
what? You like snuck into the mountain, you got caught, you like ran from a worm,
right?
And then you had like the riddle event that was like the really obvious riddle.
There was you were, like, everything feels like ignorant. We're turning every reaction to what happened up to 11.
No, I think there was a thing that it sounds like you forgot about, and I definitely forgot about
because I remember kill 2 fairies.
I remembered the worm. I remembered the like word puzzle that she couldn't solve because she can't fucking read for no reason.
She had to kill a couple people, right?
And then she had to kill a couple of people, I don't remember why.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that it had happened until this book repeatedly reminds you that happened. And I was like,
but this,
and I think it was like,
she makes it sound like she was like in the front line of like battle.
Dude, killing people is not a big. It's not something to be overlooked.
No, but I mean, she's like, oh, the blood under the mountain, and all the terror, and the death.
I think I could kill 2 people and not have nightmares about it for the next 6 months.
I mean, if you found out they were innocent later,
shot at that.
but if you found out they were innocent later, and they did nothing wrong,
I think that was the thing from the get-go that they were innocent.
Oh, okay.
But it's in Farrah's case, she has a really good like. I'm sure it's traumatic, but also it was like 2 deaths, and you saved all the fairy kingdom.
Yeah, so
like,
come on,
worth it. That's the trolley car problem.
And once again, I don't remember why specifically she had to kill these elves, but like,
sorry, no fairies, man.
It was like she had to kill some elves for.
Oh my god,
to save Prithian.
You gotta be racist.
That's racist.
They're fairies.
Oh, you pointy-eared people look the same to me.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
But it was like they were just like other prisoners, and it was pretty much. It was pretty. The way I remember it, it's pretty much like Amaranth is like, you gotta kill these people in order to get to the next stage of my puzzle, which also is the way that I'm gonna die somehow. And I don't like.
I don't. Okay,
it was necessary.
I feel like here's some big things that I don't remember. How Amarantha died.
Let me ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember how she died. Boy, I love making at least one thumbs up gesture every episode because that bubble pops up every time.
I'm gonna get a sound for that.
I don't remember why Lucian has a metallic eye.
Yeah.
Oh, she poked it out.
I don't remember that. I mean, I may not remember that because they were wearing fucking masks the whole book last time, right?
Yeah.
So how did she know? But she apparently is the new shred.
I remember them talking about the robot eye.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I remember it being a part of it. I don't remember why. I think it's just part of his cool aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's some damage thing.
She did that for the fan art.
Wasn't it Amarantha that?
I think
probably
his
eye
out. Broke her eye out or something.
Yeah.
Broke his eye out, yeah.
Yeah. But those are my 2 big things that I just have not gone back to figure out or don't remember. How Amarantha died, which I guess was Feyre killing her somehow, and then the metal eye. But those are. It's really frustrating to have read a book. I did like the first one. Like I didn't hate it. I wasn't as annoyed as the first 150 pages of this book. But I mean, I'll be honest. I am now looking forward to the rest of the book. There's something that happened in the last chapter that we read where I'm like, okay, finally, I feel like we're maybe turning a corner here.
Yeah. I think what happened, I think the difference between book 1 and 2, at least for me, is book 1 was the first book in a fantasy series. Mm-hmm. And this is the second book in the fantasy series and the first book in a romance series. It's like a romance book that was like very much just like a romance novel smashed into a fantasy novel.
Right. The
And
first
that,
one
like-
didn't
that, like,
feel
it-
like that so much.
It wasn't a romance novel. It was a
No.
regular fantasy novel with like some love interest stuff, which is totally normal to be in other novels. This one's like 2 books at once.
Yeah.
So far is what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, well, it could have just stuck with like pure just being fantasy. It probably would have been a lot better.
Romantasy is huge right now, Ken.
It's huge.
It's huge. Okay. Chapter 2, Feyre's dealing with frustration with not being allowed to leave the house. She's planning the wedding she's going to marry Tamlin. She's planning the wedding with Ianth, a high priestess. They're figuring out seating arrangements and such. She finds out from Tamlin, she will not be a high lady to his high lord. She will be the lady of the Spring Court, and apparently that's enough to be like, you're not going down on me now. Like, I'm not cool with not being the high lady. Like, we're sex session over. Like, they were about to get like down and dirty, and then he's like, yeah, you're not gonna be a high lady. And she was pissed.
The way their relationship works frustrates me so fucking much. It's like, it's almost intolerable to read.
It is
when the plot, and not because it's the author's fault, it's just very frustrating. And she's trying to portray Tamlin as like problematic, and I get that, but like 100% of their problems are because they just don't fucking talk to each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, just sit the fuck down and just talk to each other like people, or break up.
Like, we don't have time to talk right now. We don't have time to talk right now.
I get really irritated when people are like, you know what, maybe my problems will go away if we just have tons of hot sex. It's like, God, fucking. Anyway.
Blake, she's illiterate. What do you expect?
I know. She can't read any good Christian marriage books.
Right. Ianth, we think she's gonna like play a huge role in this. Like, I felt like it at the beginning. Now she's kind of faded out. I'm not real sure.
I thought she was gonna be best buds, and then by the end of the section that we read, I'm like, oh, she's a big bad. She's
a big bad.
She's the Illuminati that is like that is coercing Feyre into everything bad about her life.
And she's something new, right? She was not in the last book.
Right.
I believe that's
okay.
right.
All right.
I thought for sure there was going to be a threesome between her and Tamlin and Feyre.
I do feel like, and then the audiobook, I think they pronounce her name Ianthe or Ianthe, something like that.
Well,
I do love the sort of Elden Ring aesthetic that she brings to the table.
Yeah.
How so?
Oh, because she's got at one point it describes like a fancy hood that she has that like covers her mouth and face, or because covers her like upper face, and you can only see her mouth, the mouth of the god or whatever.
Like Batman. She's like Batman.
It was just very Elden Ring kind of image, and I feel like it cranked up the whole like, because the last book was very much like you're doing a masquerade thing for the fan artists
all the time.
Right, like it's just that's what the aesthetic of this book is, and that's changed a little bit because nobody has a mask magically glued to their faces anymore.
It's probably also to get the furries into this book.
Yeah, and I think I think it's the aesthetic has shifted a little bit, and I'm choosing to go in a like more gothic Elden Ring sort of direction, and it's working for me, so I would recommend.
Okay. I think she's gonna wind up with Tamlin. Somehow, not Our Lady, not Feyre.
Oh, Ianthe.
I think she's gonna wind up with Tamlin. Because that's what Feyre says at one point. She's like, she makes a better match with Tamlin than I do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's it. They're gonna wind up together. Like something's gonna happen.
Foreshadowing.
Chekhov's gun. Right.
There you go, Chekhov's gun.
Akhimov's gun.
Yep. Chapter 3, Feyre and Lucian go to town. Go to the town.
On each
nearby that is rebuilding. Feyre and Lucian offer to help, but all offers are refused. Feyre expresses her frustration at not being given more freedom, and Lucian's like, just deal with it.
And she went because she was just insufferably complaining, right?
She's complaining all the time. Everything, like right now, I'm not saying that she shouldn't want freedom to do things,
right?
But a lot of conflict is coming out of her not wanting to do, and it's not just this, but it seems like everything that needs to be done, she doesn't want to do. Yeah. She doesn't want to plan for the wedding. She doesn't want to sit at home, which is fine. But when it starts piling up as the story goes on, it's just like she becomes and we get it, like later on we see she's like gaunt. She is a shell of herself. She's apparently not eating. She's the picture of depression, right? Like her cheekbones are poking out of her face because she's and Reese is like, you've lost so much weight, and all this stuff is like, I get it. I feel like shit reading it the first quarter of this book. Like, there were points I didn't want to pick it up because I'm like, God, you're going to be insufferable, Feyre. And I read a book like that recently where the main character was like, just like he was hard to. I was like thinking with the author, like, hey, put some character progression in. Like, I just read a whole trilogy, and the character didn't learn a thing.
Yep.
Now I feel a little better. Chapter 15 finally showed a little bit of character growth. And we'll get there. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm not connecting all the events of book 1 with how the world is in book 2. Because she admits it in chapter 15, how small her world was when she got to it. She's like, things seemed perfect, and I was content to like just focus on Tamlin, and I didn't look at the world. And now we're starting to see the world, and like apparently it was just utterly destroyed by Amarantha.
Yeah. Like,
these towns are rebuilding? What the fuck? Well, apparently everyone was captured under the mountain. Except Tamlin, who had a mask on. And did Reese have a mask on?
I think they all did.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, I feel like I'm talking a lot.
Did the people under the mountain, did they get like turned into pigs and stuff, or like what? Or were they just living their lives incarcerated under the mountain?
I think incarcerated.
They were just doing it because it's like,
I'm thinking incarcerated.
Everybody got the mask, but then there was also like the two like maid servants that were like clothed in shadow or whatever. And I just remember like it felt like everybody sort of had an alternate form when they were under the mountain. Or I'm getting that vibe that Feyre kind of acts like people are like, oh, you were under the mountain? Well, I didn't see you. Where were you? And I was like, oh God, they got turned into pigs. What the fuck?
Yeah. I thought this, so I double checked real quick. Rhysand did not wear a mask in action.
Oh,
that was like a curse. It was like a mostly associated with like Spring Court.
It was just the Spring Court that all got masks.
Oh, okay.
It was a magical curse.
So it's just targeted.
That's why Tamlin.
Amarantha wanted to be with Tamlin. It was
because Amarantha wanted to bone Tamlin.
Yeah. Yep.
And he rebuffed her because he loves.
But he also waited
human woman.
50 years. He was like a college student waiting to write his term paper.
He was
waiting until the last day to find a girl to break the spell.
No, he was trying all kinds of people.
Dude, let me.
Was he?
Yeah. They
he sent his lieutenants. He sent his lieutenants in, dude. And I'm gonna get to this, but the rules in this fairy world are so like fucking specific, and like who the fuck thought of them?
Like what? What you got?
Well, one, the curse that was put on Tamlin, like you have to not just fall in love. You got to fall in love with a mortal who hates fairies.
Reading.
Who hates fairies and can also kill one, and kills one that you send in there.
Oh yeah.
Like it's so specific.
It was like it's like his buddy was a wolf.
Yeah.
And she killed him with an ash arrow on accident.
Yeah. She didn't even fucking know he was a fairy.
That book was fucking weird.
And then in this book, we're gonna get to it in a little bit, but about how Feyre is rescued from Tamlin's court. It's like, well, that's the law. He did it by the book. Who wrote the fucking book?
Yeah.
Who wrote the book that
I had to have my
can't
sister
go in and carry
kidnap
her
her
out? Yeah.
because it would be illegal for me to kidnap her.
Yeah.
What?
Like, come on. What legislative body wrote that? Come on. Bullshit.
It's fine if you kidnap someone as long as it's not directly the person that wants to have sex with them.
Right. Okay, chapter 4. The wedding banquets begin. So we have multiple days of wedding banquets. Then the wedding happens. Feyre doesn't want to go through with it. And guess what? It's been 3 months or more. And what do we remember from the last book? 1 week a month, Feyre's supposed to go spend with Rhys. And she hasn't done it yet. And what do you know?
Right.
Who shows up at the wedding? Rhys. He's there. And he takes her away.
I mean, you guys,
Well,
I really don't normally like to just be reading books and being like, ooh, I think I see what's going to happen next. But God, man, the second that I realized that it had been 3 months that passed and Rhysand hadn't shown up, I was like, well, he's obviously going to fucking show up at the wedding and take her away. And she's going to be having like mixed feelings about the wedding because that's what this fucking book is about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's extremely forced.
Should have called it Court of Cold Feet.
Yeah.
Well, and Rhysand showed up ostensibly because he sensed her like losing her fucking mind or something like that. I don't remember, but there's some sort of mental connection. That's from the book before, right? Because he's like, I'm gonna help you get out of this, but I'm gonna do some fucking fairy magic to you. And she's got the big sleeve tattoo now.
Yeah.
And
because he literally was just like, I'm gonna want to kidnap you later, so I'll only save your life if you agree to let me kidnap you sometimes.
Yeah.
Do we have a deal? It won't be for sex stuff, maybe.
What a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the idea. We'll do chapter 5 real quick and then talk about it and then take a drink refill.
Sure.
Evacuation break. All right. Okay. Chapter 5. So Rhys takes Feyre to the night court. This is like unheard of. No one goes to the night court. She settles into her room. She puts on, apparently night court has an attire that shows the midriff. That's a big deal.
It's like
big deal.
It's like when you go to the
90s.
Gerudo town in Zelda.
It is Gerudo town. Yeah, in the mountains. She has breakfast with Rhys and finds out he wants to teach her how to read this week. She's gonna learn how to read this week.
Yeah, and then my favorite part about the reading thread is that the first time that he sits down with her, it turns out she already can read. She's been saying that she can't read this whole time, but she's like, and she just reads it with like no teaching at all.
Yeah.
She's watching YouTube.
Yeah.
They did flowers for Algernon on that bitch. Get this sped up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got a magic Fey brain now, so she could probably.
I mean, what? Okay, so
if all her physical abilities turned Fey, if there's something special about Fey brain biology, would she have gotten that too?
why did she learn to read? I mean,
Yeah, she's a new body. I think
she's like
that's
super
internal as well.
fast,
She
and
didn't have just new skin. You know?
I bet her vision changed.
well, neurons are post-mitotic, so maybe that was part. You can't
Whoa!
grow newer neurons.
I'm so glad.
That's
I'm
a word.
so glad, Bob.
not
I was just gonna say, like, I've got this horrible problem where I can't consume any media at all about like shapeshifters without being like, I just don't see how that's evolutionarily possible. Are you gonna fucking what's a werewolf gonna grow teeth? And like it just doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah,
right? And like so I'm glad that at least somebody else is analyzing it, and I'm glad it's you with the actual expertise to know what you're talking about, because I'm just like, that just doesn't seem right. An argument from incredulity over here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and I'm being silly, but maybe that's the reason why, is because, you know, all that new abilities and stuff require, you know, rebuilding your muscles and bone structure, and that requires cell division. But neurons in an adult, they don't necessarily you know, grow and divide. They don't. I mean, there's some in your nasal cavity, like your smelling neurons can do that, but for the most part, they don't grow and divide. So I don't know. Maybe that's why. It's neural tissue, man.
All right.
That's all I've got. Nothing fun.
Magic.
I do love how wearing these different clothes really pisses Tamlin off later.
Yeah.
Tamlin is a fucking psychopath, man. He's just like,
I'll tell you what, I'm not unhappy that he's out of the story at this point.
I'm gonna start thinking of them as the Bloods and the Crips, and like when she comes back, she's like all red. You know, she's wearing all red bandana hanging out her back pocket and shit. Tamlin and Lucian are all sporting blue.
I do think there's a strong argument to be made that Tamlin just is a Republican stereotype, and the kind that is, you know, I just feel like he's a little bit on the fast track to being a spouse abuser, just with the way that he reacts to certain things, and the way that it's just like every man, the dude has just no control over himself. It just completely literally explodes and just like becomes a bomb and takes out a whole room because like he can't bear to see his girlfriend wear a tunic of another court. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, she was in a wedding dress when she left. Of course she's not going to come back in spring court clothes. What the fuck are you, like, you've had a week to stew about this. And that's your reaction?
All right, y'all. We're gonna take a quick break.
Oh, everybody's in break mode.
Everybody's in break mode. Take a quick break. We'll be back. If you don't want to be heard, put your mics on mute. Otherwise, you're on, You're on, babies. You're on, babies.
I'm gonna get a quickie in while we're gone here.
Whew. Is this AI music?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sorry, I had to go get a whole Last Supper.
A whole Last Supper.
Speaking of Last Supper, the senior art show for the fall.
Senior art show.
They just wrapped up the senior art show from last fall, and I had a friend who was graduating, and I went by and looked at her work, and every year the seniors of the department, they design a flyer for the senior art show, and oh my god, this one was delicious. They happened to have 12 people in the class, and what they did is they created a Last Supper scene, but they called it the last semester. It was cute. Yeah, two of my friends were graduated, and yeah,
I don't think it's very cute at all, Bob, to blaspheme the Holy Spirit.
I thought it was fantastic.
This is honestly the most like actual popular streamer thing for us to do, is just sit here and all eat on stream just while it's live.
Yeah.
And not really do much.
Yo, what's up, chat?
Yeah, I've been streaming for I'm going on 8 hours, not going on 8 hours. I haven't eaten that yet. My mom just brought me, my girlfriend, my wife just brought me some food. So I'm just gonna eat on stream. Hope you guys don't mind. It was cool, Yasin.
Can you see? Do we have anybody? Not obviously, we don't have anybody in the chat, but do we have anybody watching that can come up in the chat and then I don't know, post your fetish?
Hey, come up in the chat. There you go.
Is that what we do? Post fetishes in the chat? Is that the thing?
Kinks. Put your kink in the chat.
Post your kinks in the chat. Hell yeah.
Most of my kinks are in my intestines.
I see what you did there.
Yo, I talked to you about my ad blocking efforts. I don't get a whole lot of them, but boy, when they poke through, are they shit? And literally about shit. Like YouTube will talk about like how to clean your gut out, and how just drinking this one simple thing
Dick water.
get 25 pounds of blocked up shit out of your gut.
That sounds real.
Oh, like one of those gross ear cleaning videos?
Yeah.
Except it comes out of your asshole.
Yes.
Why don't they show those? That'd be. We could probably make a bunch of money on the Twitch if we did that. You wouldn't have to show any butthole. You just like show it from the side.
Look, we're live again. This is being streamed.
Mm-hmm.
I love a good poop. You know, I love a good bowel movement. I feel much better afterwards. And you know what? We are in year 2 of the bidet revolution. We just purchased our second bidet.
Dude, it's crazy that people don't use bidets.
Yeah. Well, we apparently like it so much that we're like, I really hate pooping when the other person is in the bathroom that has the bidet.
Yeah, dude.
Because I like
Forget the fuck up.
Just having a second bathroom was not luxury enough. We needed a second bidet.
For sure.
So, yeah, real interesting.
All bidet, every bidet. All right, y'all. I want to be off here at 10. Is that possible?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got to get back to play some Cyberpunk.
Ooh, I've been playing it.
I saw. I thought you were playing Fortnite, but it said Cyberpunk.
I gotta go to sleep.
Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, it's great.
All right, guys, let's get back into it. We're in chapter 6. This is a pretty short summary here. We meet Morrigan. It's Reese's cousin and only surviving relative.
Right, I thought it was his sister.
There's some. I don't think so. Pretty sure it's cousin.
I'm audiobook only, so I thought her real name was Morgan.
Oh,
just Morgan.
No.
And I was like, it is so fucking stupid that they shortened that to Moore. And have just called her Moore for the rest of the book. I still think it's fucking stupid, but
yeah. It's not that long of a name to need to abbreviate. But hey, it shows some intimacy.
Yeah,
right?
I think this is definitely not inspired by Morgana Le Fay.
From what?
From King Arthur.
Oh,
that's Pendragon's ward.
Maybe.
Morgan the Fay.
Feyre starts her reading lessons, but she's also starting another kind of lesson about how she can shield her mind, because apparently Rhys, this whole time, when she made this pact with Rhys in the first book, she got some tattoo on her hand, like it just appeared out of nowhere. It's got an eyeball on her palm, and he can like see through the palm. So like whatever she does with her hand, that Rhys's eye is there. So gotta use the right hand when you're with Tamlin.
Like she's
or the left, whichever
like
one's not.
FaceTiming him Tamlin's butthole.
Right. And then at the end, like he shares some plans about defending the realm against an invasion by Hybern, which I called. I don't know if it was on the stream or not, but when I read the first book and they talked about Hybern, I'm like, that's the big baddie. Like Amarantha's nothing. Like the big baddie is Hybern. You don't mention some evil king in another island and not expect him to come back. So Rhys shares some plans to defend, that there's a war coming. Feyre goes home because the week is over, and Tamlin wants the deets. Anybody else just think that Rhys is a metaphor for having a period? 1 month, one week a month, 2 weekends a year, or is Rhys the National Guard?
No, because that's the only week of the month she's not pissed off at everybody. So it's a little opposite.
So this is a subversion of the period experience.
Right. We're taking the moon cycle back.
So with fairies, you're pleasant during that week, but the other 3 weeks you're insufferable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's our official stance on the menstrual cycle.
Yes. Shelf importance.
Hey, I'm
approved.
a scientist. I know stuff.
Right. Yep. Right. So let's see. I mean, Tamlin, look, she just got abducted from the wedding. Apparently he's just been unconsolable, but does not want to be consoled. He needs details on the Night Court. See, this is where he gets real sus. Okay, I'm gonna theorize here, and I think it's pretty obvious. He is in with Hybern.
Reach it.
And that's Rhys's suspicion.
Ooh.
Is that Tamlin needs to be convinced to help, because otherwise he could just sit it out, Not necessarily fight with the King of Hybern, but just decide, hey, this, I'm just gonna wipe my hands of this, and that would hurt Prithian, right? But he doesn't. When she brings up that the King of Hybern wants to invade, he just kind of does a hand wave. He's like, I need to know about Rhys's court. Why? I feel like you guys share a common enemy, the King of Hybern, and not whatever rivalry you have whenever there's intelligence that, hey, they're going to tear down the mortal wall and kill all mortals. And I mean, not that that's really, Tamlin's problem, because Tamlin only cares about his own race, right?
I think what we're supposed to believe about that is that everyone, the Night Court is everyone's enemy.
Doesn't Bob look like he could be given a blowjob off screen?
Every other court fears the Night Court and considers them an enemy, and so any information that they can get is just de facto super valuable. That's what we're supposed to believe. I don't think it's super sensible to portray Tamlin as having absolutely nothing but concern for her protection and then immediately dropping that concern the second that she walks back in the door. Doesn't make a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter
8.
Oh, we're chapter 8. Okay. The tithe occurs. Feyre shows some mercy when Tamlin won't, because that's not how things are done.
This is weird as shit. Did she not, in the last book, did she not spend, like, a lot of time in the Spring Court? Like, wasn't she there for, like, 3 or 6 months, long enough that the tithe would have occurred?
Yeah, they said this is the first tithe that they've done in a while. It was like postponed because of
they just
bad stuff.
Yeah.
So they just like Amarantha comes in and is like, okay, I'm the evil ruler now, and you're all have to kiss the ring. And their response to that was like, well, I guess we'll just not collect our normal. Like, I guess we'll just completely change the way that we do our economy. I just feels a little weird to me. But anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it got run down.
It was there for the story. I need to just not think
and
about
again,
it.
who the fuck is writing the laws in this land? Because it's like, if you can't pay, well, you got 3 more days to pay. and then you're really in trouble.
Then I will murder you.
Yeah. And like nobody.
No, it's actually, and then I can tell you have the option to bring it on your next tithe, bring double.
Yeah, you'll pay double, which is just the one you owed already, and the next one.
Yeah.
So you'll
but
just
then if you don't pay that one,
then you gotta pay again in 3 days.
3 more days to pay your double.
and no one, like, Feyre is like super reasonable here. Like, has anybody asked why they're in trouble? And why they don't have food? We don't need whatever seaweed they can scrape together.
She's like, I mean, I feel like maybe we could just like help them keep the lake stocked with fish or something.
Like, shut up, woman.
And Tamlin is just like, hard no, like I'm not gonna let a woman tell me what to do.
They're gluttonous. Well, that's
you
what
you don't know what these people are like.
That's what the lady said that helps her in the court. What's her name? Alice. Okay. Alice is like, you know, it was great of you to help her because nobody else did, but you know that she's just gonna blow all that money on hookers and blow in 4 days.
Exactly.
And then she's gonna be in the same problem. But she does point out, you know, something's going to pay off in this book or the next 2 books, or the 5th book. That lady and her people will remember what Feyre did that day.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling that lady.
Gonna come back.
Dobby.
Dobby.
She's gonna take a dagger in the heart for Feyre.
Yeah, or she'll be the killing blow on the big bad.
Oh yeah, so she's a long bottom, huh?
She's a long bottom situation. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be, man. And just to be really clear, the moral problem that everyone seems to have with these mer people is just they're really hungry. They're just so hungry.
Fuck them.
And yeah, I think it's so hungry they eat people.
My view of their map, their world, whatever, their courts keeps changing for me, and I don't know where to settle with this. Because it's like, at first I'm like, oh, it's like a nice like English countryside like house, like mansion kind of deal, and then I'm like, oh, is it like supposed to be a village, or is it huge? You know, and there's like
where are these fucking
mountains and like huge lakes and rivers everywhere, or are these people living in like just like a small pond? Because why are there no fucking fish? You're in the Spring Court. Why are there no fucking fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there no water here?
I mean, that's prime fishing season. Is spring.
Yeah.
There should be fish all the fuck over the place.
Because
they ate all the fish. They should die.
So
I don't know if this is like a pond like that was in my grandma's backyard. You know, like just like a little bitty fishing pond that you throw some bass in and like, yeah, you can fish out of it once in a while. Or is this like where Nessie lives? You know, is this a loch in Ireland, like humongous and unfathomably deep?
I think that's what we're supposed to believe, but right? I also was like that. It sounded like they just lived in the pond, like
just like swimming around,
like the koi pond.
Yeah.
Just you just got like two of them chilling in there,
3 or 4 of them.
There are no more fish. Like there never were any fish in there. Actually, you used to be the fish. We didn't know you were going to turn into this. But I just assume in all of the spring court, if they're like, even if they're living in like a little pond, just in the back 40 of Tamlin's joint, you know, then like if they run out of fish, you just move on.
Some more fish
to the goddamn ocean.
I mean, it's right there.
It's right there. I mean, maybe they're freshwater mer person.
You need a bigger
lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There are so many fish.
Chapter 9. Tamlin and Feyre kind of make up, and he gifts her a paint set. She's scared of the color red. They fight again, and she says she doesn't want to marry him. She finally says it out loud.
At this point, we just like. It can be more obvious that he doesn't know anything about her, right? Because it's like, I got to get her something. I guess she likes painting, right?
She likes painting,
right? I'll get her more paints.
I think I understood that when their wedding had red rose petals on the ground. I was like, I feel like Ferris made it pretty clear that she doesn't like the color red. And if they're speaking to one another at all, they should have talked about like, yeah, it's really weird. It's like every time I see the color red.
He's 10 toes in. That dude is standing on business every day. He's out on business.
Yeah. He's got business in the streets and business in the sheets. And neither one of those leaves very much time for talking.
And no time for any deets.
No time for deets.
All right. So chapter 10, Feyre generates a shield and an air push or
because
something.
He explodes and tries to kill her.
Does he?
Yeah.
I thought that it was her. I thought he like something about their interaction had triggered something where she's like, I have to protect myself, and protecting yourself meant shield, and like she pushed air everywhere.
Okay, a third take.
She shattered everything.
Third take. Here's what I thought happened. Okay. I thought she, in their like fight interaction or whatever, that she simply got overwhelmed and was unable to control the power manifested as like this wind explosion. I did not gather at all that like he exploded.
I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think that he was attacking her. I think he was just kind of throwing a fit, and she just entered some state.
What's that? 11. Chapter 10. I'm gonna revisit that.
I think in the moments after, like that moment happened, I thought that it was her that had like. Because it very much was just like, and the room exploded, you know. But I think something about the way it got talked about later made me think that he was like moving, he was like getting overwhelmed with rage like he does. Because at other times he like power like pushes out from him and like knocks the fucking pictures off the walls and stuff.
I mean, it would make sense. He apologizes profusely afterward, which I thought was weird.
Right. Yeah. Here's what it says. But then I cried out, instinct taking over, as his power blasted through the room. The windows shattered, the furniture splintered. It exploded into dust and glass and wood. One breath, the study was intact. The next, it was shards of nothing. None of it had touched me from where I had dropped to the floor. Tamlin was panting, and the ragged breaths almost like sobs. So maybe something about his power did do it.
That's what it sounds like there, huh?
What the fuck?
So he's
Blake,
just.
you were when I suggested that he did it, you were like, that would suggest abusive behavior.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, oh, and then he's apologizing. He's basically just like lashes out physically, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'll never happen again. I swear it's the last time."
But it wasn't like he turned into a wolf and started shredding everything around him. It was just like a supernatural,
explosion of energy.
Right.
A tantrum.
Because his power's been unleashed by defeating Amarantha.
You think he knows more about what Feyre is now than she does? He has
At this point,
to,
yeah,
right?
he's known the whole time.
Okay.
Because he makes
you think that's why he's
when
she
comes back
down?
and she knows about it, and she asked him like kind of point blank. He's like, "Yeah, we kind of suspected maybe, but we didn't want to say anything."
But I don't think he knows to what degree though, right?
I think he's just scared of it.
Well, nobody knows to what degree yet.
Right. Okay. So. Okay.
He just wanted. He suspected it and wanted to not mention it at all, so that it never would manifest. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then no one could come take his precious.
Yeah. Be an ally, but don't be a feminist, right? That's Tamlin. #Tamlin. Right?
That's also the official stance of the show.
No, it's not. Chapter 11. She can read better. Shield her mind better. She spends the week reading at Reese's place. So a whole month has gone by. She's back at Reese's. She spends the week reading. She's able to read books. Hey, come join Shelf Importance, Feyre. She's lost weight, and then she goes back to Tamlin again. So I don't think there's a whole lot of interaction with Rhys on this trip. Like, she's just there. So now we're like 5 or 6 months past the end of last book.
I feel like we're hitting a point where it's just like Feyre is a Mary Sue. Would have been like a lot easier, and just like now she can read. Now she's super strong, and now she can shield her mind, and now she can read other people's minds.
Look, the very first
turn her
time,
hands to ice or fire, whatever she wants. She is the Avatar.
She is. The first time that she's at Reese's, and she's like, I can't read, and he's like, here, read this sentence, and she's like, okay, here's the sentence, I read it, and it's like, what? That's not how this works.
Zero resistance at all. She completely just knows how to read.
Maybe she does have a Fey brain. Maybe her brain did change, and maybe one of the High Court can read, and she took on that.
That's what it is.
Someone in the High Court, their power is reading.
Yeah.
That's what they do at the Dusk Court.
Look, interesting little, Shelf Importance book news kind of thing. The Smithsonian, they are looking for people whose superpower is reading cursive. There are tens or hundreds of thousands of documents out there written in the olden days that were written in cursive that no one knows how to read, and they're looking for people to be able to interpret them.
How much they pay?
Well, it sounds like volunteers. So they're counting on like retired people. And there was a retired man that was he was inspired to help do this, and he actually, he has translated some pretty cool things. He's like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands that he's transcribed and figured out what they said. One was a letter from the Green Bay Packers to Gerald Ford asking him to come play for them. Like someone had written that in cursive, and no one knew what it said until this guy came along and deciphered it. So that's pretty cool. Others were like wartime correspondence and things like that.
It really seems like this would be a really good job for AI and not old people.
Right.
But I mean,
hey, but old people were the only ones that could read cursive. So.
Yeah, they were gonna need them to pick.
Hey! I can read cursive. God damn it!
I mean, I can read some cursive too. But look, you gotta. I'll share the link because you gotta see some of this.
Yeah,
it is not easy to read.
Sloppy old timey cursive.
Yeah, the old timey cursive. That's
it is beautiful.
Yeah. Sorry, this is long to get to, so I'm just a little behind on the reference here, but I've got my casting choice for the Dawn Court.
Okay.
High Lord, the one with the power to read.
There, yes.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, love it.
Of course. Why not?
Of course. There we go.
He'd be pretty good, right?
He's such a beautiful man.
Story.
Chapter 12. There's more arguing about
Finish
Feyre.
out the whole thing with him here.
Great.
More arguing about Feyre helping in the fight against an enemy. Some enemy. There's something out there that Tamlin's got to be fighting.
Always embroiled in a battle.
Tamlin is like, no, you're not coming with us. And she's like, try and stop me. And he does. He puts a barrier around the house to keep her in and imprison her. And she's like, hey, I'm back under the mountain again. But she like passes out. Or like, I don't know, she like faints. Moore comes and takes Reese away. All right? That's what happens.
Takes Feyre away.
Takes Feyre away.
She just comes in Delta Force style.
Yeah. For those rules. It's totally okay for me to come around and bust down magical force fields, but I'm not allowed to walk in.
I knocked out all your guards because I'm like kick-ass ninja flashbang.
Yeah.
Carries her out. And then Feyre just for no fucking reason at all. It's just like,
yeah.
Just like passes out.
Yeah. And apparently there, like we mentioned earlier, there's some super specific law that says that Reese can disable whatever barrier or bypass whatever barrier is around Tamlin's house, but he can't step on the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else has to. His only living cousin has to.
That's like some old mythology style rules right there, though.
It's like prophecy level bullshit. Like, but not
can't
like
step foot in their lands. It's part of the accord.
But it's like sloppy prophecy where the author's like, hey, only this can happen this way after it happens. It's not like she put a little thing in the first book and then figured out how to make it work in book 2. You know,
mm-hmm.
it just feels like, really? I mean, just say he had to be somewhere else.
That didn't need to be. I mean, she could have absolutely been like, and then Rhysand winnowed in, grabbed me, winnowed out.
Yeah,
we Gucci.
So because the implication,
any of this,
the implication was that if he had been the one to winnow in and winnow out, that it would have allowed Tamlin. It would have given him some kind of legal right to come invade the Night Country.
But now what's gonna happen is he's gonna show up and he's gonna be like, "You took Feyre from our home in the Spring Court." He's gonna go, "No, I didn't.
No, I didn't.
Technically, I didn't. I did not.
Moore did.
It wasn't to me."
And Tamlin's just like, "Oh shucks," he stomps his foot and like goes back home.
I can't invade your land now.
Yeah. I mean, how much does that show how much Tamlin loves Feyre, that he's like, you know what? I really, really love her, but oh gosh darn if he didn't just come and take her, right? Like the book said.
Right there.
And I just gotta respect it.
God, I hate that he's so much smarter than me. Why didn't I think he'd do that? Put a tattoo on her other hand. Check it. If she had a Tamlin tattoo on her left hand, and she didn't
make them kiss like Barbies,
like what? Yeah. Could Tamlin and Reese talk to each other and see each other's thoughts like that?
Man, is Tamlin not just a pissy little bitch about all this?
Yeah, they're perfect for each other.
God. Like I think so. I've up until about this point, I've really just not enjoyed this book. But I think it's a lot of Tamlin. It's kind of
a drag at the beginning there.
Yeah, like Feyre's attitude about it is frustrating, but now understandable because, like, just knowing her mental state and what she's been through.
Yeah,
but Tamlin has been like he's been the instigator in all of it. Like, if he had let her have some freedom, if he had not like had her under lock and key, like,
yeah, maybe it's been 12 chapters of just like reading about an unhealthy relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, this has got to fucking move. This has got to move. If honestly, the 13 through 16, they're not like, whoa, phenomenal, but they're a lot better. I mean, I could go for her never going back to Tamlin's house.
I think that's what, did I say that in my post? I said, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm 120 pages in and fucking ready for this story to move. So far, this could have been an email. Chapter 13, short discussion between Feyre and Rhys. Feyre wants to go with him, so he whisks her off to a city, Valaris. Is that how they say it in the book? Apparently, I didn't also realize this. Cities are a phenomenon. They are not, like, there are no more cities anymore.
In Prithian, they've all been destroyed by.
They've all been destroyed. Maybe there's a city over on the continent, but not out here on Prithian, because the Mortal Lands is like a little sliver of the bottom of Prithian.
Yeah,
and the fairies take over the rest. So he whisks her off. Chapter 14. That's not really an eventful chapter. Chapter 14. At Rhys's house in the city, he just has like a really cool condo, and she knows what a condominium is.
Well, the deal in the city, dude, is that it's been here forever, and like a lot of time ago, some night court rulers were like, "Well, look, we want to have a really chill paradise where everybody's nice and like you don't have to worry about getting attacked on the street or whatever. Like, well, we'll build our little Wakanda here, but we don't want anybody to know about it, and we're willing to like murder a shitload of people to make sure that happens." Is what it seems to be. It's like, it seems like at one point Rhys says like, "Well, my ancestors had to make some very tough decisions," or something like that. And then so they like build this city, and they've got all the magic in the world protecting the city, making sure that it remains a secret. But apparently it can't like trade with anybody, right? Because it's like a big secret Wakanda place that nobody can know about it outside of the night court. And they just keep it a secret for like 500 years. And like Amarantha just never knows about it. And like, what? what is
1,000 years?
That's so absurd.
Yeah.
It's a huge pet peeve of mine whenever any book puts like any setting like thousands of years apart. Like you're gonna have a like functioning society, and then 5,000 years pass and you'll have essentially the same technology, right? The like Lord of the Rings still just has like swords between thousands of years ago and now. Star Wars has the Old Republic stuff happens like 10,000 years in the past, and it's space age, and they have lightsabers and vibro swords and like basically the same ships, and then 10,000 years later the technology hasn't changed.
Man, Tchaikovsky needs to get in and write a Star Wars movie.
Dude, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. No, you could kind of go like Foundation and Empire kind of stuff where you like, it could be a galaxy spanning thing, but technology doesn't really improve because you've got this downfall and anti-intellectualism and all that.
Yeah, but Foundation also has like different planets in like seemingly different stages of cultural like and technological development.
Yeah,
because they're so far away from each other.
True.
Because like the Galactic Center is pretty technological. I mean, they've got a fucking
city world.
Yeah, city world, and then like elevators that go out into space.
I think it's really easy sometimes for authors to just be like, it was 1,000 years ago, but like, dude, 1,000 years ago is fucking insanely
different
long time in terms of technological advancement. 1,000 years ago, we like didn't have steel.
Yeah.
At all.
And it's easy to like right now today think, you know what, 1,000 years from today is not gonna be a lot different. Like maybe environmentally worse or whatever, but like technology, what can we really do different? But
dude, 1,000 years from today, we will probably not exist or not be on Earth.
Yeah. 1,000 years is a long time.
Yeah.
100 years ago, we invented an airplane.
5,000 years ago, we barely had writing.
Right.
Right. And Pharaoh's like, oh, yeah, it's just like we've kept this city here for 5,000 years. You should be in a fucking spaceship. Sand. What the fuck, man?
We need to get Ken out of here. We've got 2 more chapters.
I don't have a heart out. I mean, as long as we're working towards it.
At Reese's house in the city, it's safe here. His inner circle comes to talk to him as Farah goes for a nap. There's like 2 big winged guys and 1 tiny little lady that are part of his inner circle. And then chapter 15, the final chapter, we've got, hang on, Puppy wants down. Reese and Farah explore the city a little bit. Later, he flies her up to the mountain refuge. So he's got 2 homes. He's got 3 places, right? He's got the place that he abducted her to once a month for 2 months. Then he's got the condo in Valaris, and then he's got some mountaintop refuge, which is not the place that he abducted her to. So he's got 3 homes.
Solitude, basically.
Yeah. So he flies her up there. She doesn't want to go because she's got a nice gown on. She's got her hair curled. But apparently another superpower of his is that he can fly super fast, and she only feels a gentle breeze in her face. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's gotta be a superpower.
And that's another insufferable thing about her is like, before she was complaining about having to be all did up and stuff. And then she goes flying around, and now all of a sudden it's an issue. I'm like, make up your goddamn mind.
That's that is my complaint about her. Is make up your mind because you just seem to want to be ornery about things.
She just chooses to be upset about everything she could possibly be upset about.
Right. Yeah. And then so this whole purpose of going up there is because she's going to meet the inner circle and find out if she wants to help defend Prithian against Hybern, because she apparently needs to know, not the cause itself is not worthy enough. She has to know whether she can trust the 3 other people that will also be undertaking this endeavor. There's another big point here, and my alcohol-ridden brain is having a little
riddled. Yeah,
little difficult.
I got a big point about this part.
Okay,
so apparently 2 of this inner circle are. Is it a different people, like a separate?
The
Illyrians.
No,
it seems like they're
Diamatria or something like that. It starts with a D.
Dimension.
They're
like, he mentions that she is also it's how she like can jump from mind to mind.
Yeah, like Diamati or some shit like that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the guys with wings.
Yeah, they are Illyrians or whatever. It's whatever his mom is, whatever Reese's mom is.
Yeah, and I just think it's a very odd setting for horniness to be happening. I just didn't expect that there would be a big market for like Batwing dudes in the horny ladies market.
So you see Batwings.
Well, I don't know what else to think of.
Right, they're not bird. There's no feathers on them. She said they're like a membrane. So
I remember reading membrane.
And I think the ACOTAR fans online refer to the 2 dudes as the Bat Boys.
Nice.
And I think they're supposed to be like. I asked Becky about it because I was like, in my head,
Bat Boys, like that.
These guys are the gargoyles from the TV show from the 90s. That's what I'm picturing.
Yeah,
these dudes looking like
the Batwing Street Boys.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Street.
And Becky basically was like, no, I think they're just people with bat wings. Like, okay.
So it's not Man-Bat from Batman the Animated Series.
Nope, not Man-Bat.
Okay. All right. Here's the part that I thought was that might turn this series for me. Okay, it happens right at the end of when we read, and Reese proposes sharing some whatever they're thinking. Like, hey, let's just tell each other what we're thinking right now. And she's like, no. And he goes, and he's like, well, here's what I'm thinking. and he tells her apparently 3 facts. And then she says, it's like a whole paragraph, and it's basically that, hey, I think I'm just realizing that I was a poor girl looking for rescue, and Tamlin took advantage of that, and I didn't see this big, beautiful world for what it was. And you know what? I think I've gotten some things wrong by wanting to be with him because he was the one that rescued me. And I'm like, finally, some internal reflection, a chance for character growth. Let's go.
Yeah. And maybe this was in chapter 16, but I seem to recall her also saying something like, and I'm also realizing that I have always wondered what it's like to be railed while hanging upside down from the ceiling like a bat.
That's in 16. Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, it's a nice little taking back the power situation. I do think it's fucking hilarious that Rhysand is like, so everybody seems a little on edge. To make us all less nervous, maybe what we should do is each go around the circle and spew your thoughts unfiltered on into the conversation. Would that make everyone comfortable?
So how are we feeling so far?
That's essentially where we left off. We had a kind of a non-cliffhanger moment where it was just like somebody said like a joke at the end of the dinner party, and then that was where we left it, which is honestly kind of refreshing, because I feel like a lot of the times we have these chapter breaks that have like horrible cliffhangers that make it really hard to stop reading.
Yeah,
but Ken apparently thought it was compelling enough to continue going.
Yeah,
I was doing my treadmill time, and I just kept reading, powered right through.
Yep, I get it. It's happened to us all, but mostly happens to you.
Yeah. So that's, but I've got another book going. So I decided to revisit House in the Cerulean Sea. So
for some reason, had you not finished it before?
Correct. I read about 25% of it.
It's also got a sequel that's out now.
I know, it's re-sparked my interest. And then when I'm doing audio, I've got the Becky Chambers John going. This one is called Record of a Spaceborne View.
Man, I
third one
really fell off the wagon on that.
Yeah,
I spilled water all over the book physical copy that I have actually.
It's like really cool, but there's like, it's so hard to stay invested in because there's like nothing going on like ever.
Well, we read Under the Whispering Door. It's a very cozy book. It's very low stakes. It was just like,
but they're like doing stuff that you're just like interesting, right?
Yeah. They were sitting around a tea shop.
Yeah, but what, sitting around a tea shop?
Yeah, in Under the Whispering Door.
Oh no!
Remember the guy died.
We had a disconnect. I thought you were talking about Long Way to a Small Angry Planet.
No.
Under the Whispering Door was awesome. No,
it was good. It was like a cozy kind of not.
But there was
high stakes book.
But there were stakes that we knew about, right? About like
whether he passed on.
They had the judgment coming, and like we knew like big character development was happening. This book is just like it's a record of a spaceborne view so far. Like that's literally all it is. It's just like they're just talking about things that are happening to a few
we stopped
people.
On this planet. We mined some rocks.
House on the Cerulean Sea.
Record of a spaceborne
conversation.
The Becky Chambers book that I'm listening to.
Okay.
Do you remember we did Long Way to Small Angry Planet?
Yeah.
That's one of I think 4 books right now. I've read the second one as well.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the third one.
Right.
That's Record of a Spaceborne View.
Okay.
And that's the one I'm saying that it's just like it's like cool because she's laying out a lot of things about the culture of the humans that are spaceborne, and when they were spacefaring, like what their like ship was like and their living situation. All that's really cool. It's like this. Obviously, it's sci-fi, so it's a series of hexes. But the way she explains it is really neat. Like how they form, like you have your own hex, and then it's like, around a big hex, and that's like the hub, and that's where there's like a market and shops and stuff.
We call it the hive.
We call it the hive. Yeah, but it's just, I mean, that's it. They're just nothing's happening.
We're just setting the scene.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to care about right now. I'm just like reading someone's like
how far into it are you?
Diaries. I don't know, maybe 30% or more.
Oh shit.
Maybe 40. I don't know.
I hope you hit the hook soon, or else.
It's like it reads like nonfiction.
Well, I feel like Becky Chambers is very relationship focused, and sometimes like I to some extent I feel a little bit like that in the part of the Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Wait, no, not the other one, the closed in common orbit. That's the one. I'm like, you know, I don't know, probably 30% in. I'm like, I feel like all you're doing is walking around just like talking to people, and I don't really know about what.
Yeah, that book was, I mean, don't expect there to ever be any like high stakes moments. That whole thing is like, well, I'm sorry, no, because that one has like the flashbacks too, doesn't it?
Yeah,
to like when she's like young Jane. That's part of that. Okay, that part I found really cool. There's nothing like that in this one yet.
Okay.
So yeah, that second book there is just like the development, the character development of 2 or 3 people individually, which is interesting. But it's almost like if she like, I wouldn't be surprised if like a few years from now I found out Becky Chambers was writing a really detailed world building guideline for people to come in and write stories based on her world. Mm-hmm. It would be like, oh, it's perfect. Everything's here. I know exactly how everything works. This feels like a real universe. I can write books within this universe.
Yeah.
Because it's just a record. It's just a DM play manual. So, all right.
Cool. We're gonna wrap this shit up.
We're gonna read up until I've got it marked here. We're gonna read chapter 32. There you go. In 2 weeks, so we're meeting again on February 5th. Right, we're gonna keep doing Wednesdays every other Wednesday.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fabulous. Well, fellas, y'all are cool.
Yeah.
We love you, viewers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for not posting your kinks in the chat, you dumb pieces of shit.
Thanks, Shempies.
Oh, hold on. I got a thing for that
Puppy
too.
Party.
Hold on, I got a thing for that.
Puppy smooches. Oh, thank you.
See you next time, Shimpies. You see those socks at the bottom?
Look at the smoochies.
Keep your socks clean, Shimpies. This is a reminder to all you to do your laundry.
Do your laundry. No crusty socks.
Don't let your mom wash your gems.